All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Washington Redskins and the New York Giants. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Darius Geis. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Geis with the carry on 2nd down. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Detroit!
On first down, this is Geis. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He'll check it down to Geis. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll be 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Back deep, Jakeem Grant. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back.
Lucky 56.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Lester, he's going to go for a big play downfield. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
To throw again. Lester. Pass pass incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Off the play fake. Lester. He finds Roberts, complete. 23 yards on the play.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, grab that dagger play, grab that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Hey, no, look, hey, we got Mike 50, Mike 50, man. Gun!
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone?
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Gun! 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 Gun!
To throw on second down. Lester. Roberts with it over the middle. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. First trip to the red zone for the Giants. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He goes full extension, and he's got it. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Maximum effort, partner. Minimal gain.
Yeah, minimal gain. Looked good, though. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Lester. Dancing to his left. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
They'll try to pound it in with Gallman. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
2nd and goal from the 1. He'll get it up the middle. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. It's the fullback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. McManus's point after is good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out.
You must arrive to the lot no later than 3 hours prior to game time, or entry to the lot will not be permitted. No refund will be issued. Please know that at that point, you will be responsible for finding alternative routes.
Here we go now. Green 39, green 39. Check, check. Fresno, Fresno, Fresno.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll drop to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
New York set to take the field. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. After the loss, here's 2nd and 12 from the 18.
Detroit! Detroit! 4 down, check! Detroit! Detroit! Mike's 50.
Off play action. Lester. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's a big-time play there for the G-men. 55 yards.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch, and it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does a defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that,
here we go.
oftentimes interceptions
39.
result.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
Hurry up,
Back to throw here. And that is incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They just do get the play off as he'll look to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. It's a big play there for the Redskins on third down. 61 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
The Redskins on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run with Geis. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, and the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
New York set to take the field. A tale of 2 extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive, followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a diet soda with it, and it balances it out. And we know that's not really true, right? Because the interception, that sting lingers a little bit longer. Got to come out now and put together some nice plays.
And incomplete there, almost almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with, but it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10.
Gun, gun! Gun, gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. He finds an opening past the 40, and he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
We got three. Three down. Three down. Hey, fellas, we got three. Let's go. Man, left.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout.
Tight end right. Leopard! Leopard!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's second and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
No. Check. Patriot! Patriot!
Throwing on third and long. Lester going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
On fourth down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. So out now come the Redskins. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gun!
Back to throw now in his own end zone. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. First down now, but that clock rolling.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football. Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's second and 11. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. After the incomplete pass, here now is second and 10.
Lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll look to throw here. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they can't bring him down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Lester. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just it. There you have it. Halftime quickly over. 3rd quarter, here we go. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now Gallman. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Danny Trevathan there to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun. Lester got his man complete over the middle. It's Roberts. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
All right, now, lucky 56.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
They'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. A big play there for the Giants. 43 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense can often result in.
And he's got his man, Beckham. Touchdown, Giants. Odell Beckham, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Giants add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead is now 17-3. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Switch. Gun!
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Over!
On the handoff, it's Geis. And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, we got four. We got four down.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. Third and long, why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And New York set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Giants are able to grow their lead. McManus now for the extra point. McManus's point after is good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
They stay on the ground. Geis again. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. At 5 yards on the play there, the drive will continue.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They'll hand it down to Geis, and he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On the ground, it's Geis. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and get it with Geis. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
Gun! Hey. We got three. Three down.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a run with Geis. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Double tight. Three down. All right, here we go. Blue 90.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Redskins on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Geis receives the pitch, and he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
3-19.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Jordan Reed has it. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now a give running left is Geis. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Four down. Mike's 5'9", Mike's 5'9". Come on, D!
Here's Geis. And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
No. Check. Patriot.
They come out here in the eye. 3rd down, here's Geis. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him a gain of 4, able to convert, and that sets up 1st and goal now. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. On the ground, Geis, and he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Darius Geis, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to cut into that deficit. Point after, right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. And they'll indeed take a knee. And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Giants, they keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 8-3 on the year. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for Washington, their woes continue as the record falls now to 1-10. And they'll have a chance at redemption next week at home against the Los Angeles Rams. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.